In today's video, I want to address a frequent issue, something that comes up a lot, and that is when a man leaves a woman or cheats on her. For some reason, a lot of women want to focus on the woman that he left him for or the woman that he cheated with versus him, and what he felt was wrong in the relationship, or what was what was the problem between the two of them. They want to look outside of the relationship and outside of themselves for the reason and blame the other person. This came up twice, actually, in two different emails rather, to me. One said, I would like to suggest that Deborrah do an article or video on why women, and she put that in caps, are always referred to as homewreckers when it is the men who walk out on their homes and away from their wives, girlfriends, families to initiate affairs, seek out hookers, or find side chicks. Men are never referred to as homewreckers, no matter their behavior, which is very strange considering they break up their homes and their families by their own choices. It would be great to get Ms. Cooper's thoughts about this topic and break down the psychology behind it. Thank you. So before I could even really get to think about that too much, I got a second email where a young lady was asking, how do you convince a girl who's using someone's baby's dad for personal gain, not love, to leave and to let him go back to his family who still loves him and wants to fix things for their kids? So she's again into that homewrecker mentality instead of thinking this man left you because that's what he wanted to do. But let me go into this for a little bit. First, I went to that major resource for all things intellectual, and that is on the internet. There's this website, urbandictionary.com, and people submit their ideas of what a word means. Some of them are on target and some of them are not. But let me share some of the things that were posted there as definitions of homewrecker, because I want us to be on the same page. And I did not want to use the standard English dictionary for this because this is kind of a cultural slang term. It's not, I mean, it might be in the dictionary, I don't know. But that wasn't what I wanted to get, the real usage that everyone uses that word for, commonly known, in the streets. So let's see here. Homewrecker. A woman who walks into a family and is completely okay with destroying it. One who manipulates the man into believing that she is what is best for him and his children. A slimy, heartless, black-souled, garden tool who brags about going from city to city sleeping with men. She must know their size and whether they are good in bed so as to not, quote, waste her time. Generally, just look for the name Mackenzie, this person writes. This was dated March 24, 2019. Another entry under Homewrecker, a person who is responsible for the breakup of a usually big or happy family. Usually, homewreckers have affairs with another's wife or husband. And then the explanation is, Nicole is such a homewrecker. She's the reason my parents got divorced. This was input in December 23rd, 2016. Another definition from that same site, someone who does not respect the boundaries and dynamics of relationships and families. Usually will strike at a weak moment after a fight and persuade your significant other that they should stay with them and not go back to you. They will buy presents, take them out, pay for things, tell them what they want to hear. Their motives are selfish. They will try to steal your child along with your partner. And in the explanation, Sarah is such a homewrecker. She totally swooped in when they were in a fight and convinced him to leave his family for good. This was submitted way back in 2010. Here's another one. Homewrecker, a female who is trying to steal a man from another woman. That homewrecker stole my man, by Mimi, June 10th, 2003. And the one that was, here's another one. The one that was voted the top definition on the site, a moralist slut, usually named Adina. So desperate, they pursue a man knowing that he's already committed and has a family. A self-absorbed homewrecker loves the thrill of ruining relationships and breaking up families. She'll send him slutty photos of her ugly ass and tell him how badly she wants to eggplant him until she's confronted, then lies and cowers like the gutter little mutt she is. Okay, girlfriend was kind of upset there. And I found this other website called She's a Homewrecker. She's homewrecker.com. That site is full of people, women basically telling their stories about how some other woman came in and, their guy left them. So this one really stood out. This woman says, no matter how many times I would tell her my husband and I were working things out and still together, she was still spreading her legs for him. Yes, I blame him too, but I called her and told her many times that she still was at the place he was staying. The one night a week I wasn't there sleeping with him. She knew we were together. Like, damn, how big of a garden tool can you be to try to ruin a marriage? Girlfriend, sounds like your marriage was already ruined and she just had an opportunity. You just don't want to accept it. So anyway, the bottom line here is the mentality. I want to address the mentality here because this goes in line with what I was speaking about a couple of weeks ago about women making excuses and covering for men. You don't want to make these men accountable. You baby them. You coddle them. You do everything to protect them from being adult males. Yet, you turn right around and say, this is the man that you want to submit to, that you want to lead your family, lead you, all this old stuff. Make up your fucking mind because y'all is all over the place with this bullshit. Either he's a strong man who's purposeful and directed and walking the right path and doing all that stuff, or he's a fucking knucklehead dusty, in which case you don't follow him anywhere. It's really interesting. I was talking to a friend of mine who called me. There's a guy I know. He got a job at the place where she is now, and she called to tell me how he had kind of gotten on her nerves. I guess they were having an exchange, and he mentioned his wife, and she got somewhat offended by it, thinking that he was trying to imply that she was attracted to him, and that he wanted to back her off. And I told her, I said, you let me be married and come to my husband's job and everybody says they don't know that he was married. That's what he's supposed to do. If your husband is protecting his marriage, any single woman, any married woman, any woman, period, he's going to put him on notice that he's married. And the fact that he does that shows that he respects his wife. Everybody in this man's workplace knows that he's married and has a child. And that is how it should be. The problem is, I think so many black women aren't used to having men be like that. That when they hear it, they take it personally, like it's some kind of, assault on them. In reality, that is what a married man is supposed to do. He is supposed to put up that shield of warning to let anybody in the air, including other men. Don't be trying to get me to go tipping out with you drinking all night and all the stuff. I have a wife and kids at home. I'm going home. So it's not just for women. It's for men as well. And what is really interesting is a lot of single women don't know, married men make more money. They get priority over promotions. They get more raises. They make a higher salary because they're looked at as being more stable and secure. Companies want that. Wives want that. So in a situation like if you have a man and he ain't telling people that he's married, well, therein lies the problem. He's already setting things up so he can tip out on you. So I just wanted to add that point in there too before I go on with the rest of it, because that happened just the other day as well. Okay, y'all got this shit twisted. So you sitting up there saying, well, I'm going to follow. He's my man. I'm going to follow him. And this is the kind of stuff that he's doing. And so you running around here in circles, chasing your tail like a dog, trying to find out what he's doing, where he is, following him, calling up women over him, showing up at women's house with your kids in the rain, looking pitiful, all kind of stuff. Trying to call her and tell her what she needs to do to let him go instead of him deciding that that's where he wants to be. You haven't accepted it yet. Get real. This is some serious dust Misa shit. It's an indicator that you have no self-respect. You have no self-esteem. You don't care about yourself at all. All you care about is chasing after some tired community dick motherfucker that's not interested in you. Otherwise, he would be with you. But he's not. He's with her. Okay? Accept it. Stop groveling. It's so, just so unladylike. It's so powerless. It's just so gross and disgusting. And you sitting up there chasing after this fool that don't want you. He already told you he don't want you. He don't want his kids either. That's why he left all y'all. So what do? You don't chase after his ass. You go down to the district attorney or child support or whatever, and you file on his ass and you get your kids what they deserve. So many of you don't even want to do that because you keep hoping. You feel like, well, if I do that, he'll never come back. That motherfucker's not trying to come back. If he really loved you, he wouldn't have left. If he really loved you, he wouldn't have cheated. If he really loved you, he wouldn't have dipped out and had a baby with some other bitch. Okay, this is the part y'all just don't want to accept. They don't love you. You're a convenience. You're something to do. You served a purpose in his life because he's a narc. And that's how larks live. Long as you're doing what they want you to do and giving them what they want you to give them, they're fine with being there. But that's not love, ladies. That's not love. Because soon as something bright and shiny turns, catches his eye, he's out checking up the deuces and you sitting up there wondering what happened. This kind of thing. And then you want to, this term homewrecker, it just drives me crazy because, it's like you look at these men, okay, what are these guys? Are they like marionettes? Are they puppets on the string? They have no self-control. So some random woman goes walking by and picks up the controls and she can make him dance to her tune and do what she wants him to do. And this is the man you want to lead you. This is the one who you feel like is a black king and all that old stuff. So, I mean, he's not in a cage. He's free to get, just like he gets in his car and goes to work, gets in his car and goes and hangs out with his friends, gets out in his car and goes to the games and to the bars and to wherever he go, gym and all stuff. He could get in his car and leave her and come back to you. But that's not what he does, right? Because that's not what he wants to do. He's exactly where he wants to be, and he's exactly doing what he wants to do, and he's exactly with the person that he wants to be with and do all those things with. And it's not you. Okay? I don't understand why this is so hard for so many women to understand. And even if what you were saying, this lady who wrote in talking about, she's using him for personal gain. That's your assessment. You don't know what he's getting out the deal because you ain't asked him. And the main thing is, even if she is using him for personal gain, he must love it because he ain't leaving. Just like, what's that song, Bill Withers? Just keep on using me till you use me up. Sound like he got that attitude to me, if that's what you say is true, which I doubt it because it's, women be in their feelings. But the bottom line is you can't make a grown man do anything. You can't make him stop doing nothing. You can't make him start doing nothing. And more wise baby mamas, girlfriends, live-in, booty, whatever you want to call it, whatever you are to this man, you need to understand that. Stop blaming the other woman for what this guy that you love is doing to you. It's not her responsibility. She has no control over him. He's doing what he wants to do because that's what grown men do. You just have a hard time accepting the fact that he's choosing to dog you out. He's choosing to be with that other woman. He chose to leave you. He chose to leave them kids. She's not to blame here. He left you and he went there of his own free will and his own accord, walking, driving, taking a bus, taking an Uber, getting a ride from his friend. However he got there, that's where he wanted to be. Okay? So what you need to do, instead of wasting time, like I said, wanting somebody that doesn't want you, you go file child support. You got kids, file child support papers on his ass. And then you go on with your life. Close that door. The one thing you should never do is chase after a man who doesn't see any value in you. Or if he could discard you like yesterday's trash, he sees no value in you. That's not saying that you're not valuable. Don't get me wrong. I want to clarify that. I'm not saying that. I'm saying he sees no value in you. So why would you want to chase after a man who doesn't see you as special? He doesn't see you as valuable. He doesn't see you as anything precious that he wants to protect and be with and love and hold close to him for the rest of his life. That's what you have. Okay, somebody who doesn't want those things. Be honest with yourself. Stop wasting your time. Stop wasting your energy. Do not give him not one more second of your love or affection, your time, attention, nothing. Nothing. He gets nothing. And those of you who did like, what's his name? The one who's married to Alicia Keys now. She wanted to get him back and everything. So he tried it, which was a respectful thing to do. They had kids together and all that. And then suddenly, magically she's pregnant with another baby. Now, you had birth control all this time. Why wasn't you still using it? Luckily for them, it worked out. I mean, they have a really unique situation. She cares for his kids while the other woman. They go on family vacations together. The kids know each other very well. There's no animosity. Dude takes care of all of his kids, and he takes care of his ex-wife as well. And I respect him for that. What's his name? Swizz Beatz. And I mean, that is like a wonderful, wonderful thing that those adults have put aside their own feelings and angers and whatever frustrations to do what's best for the kids. And I wish more people would do that. But in this case, ladies, this is going to be you. You're going to have to take the lead on that. The second that you stop groveling and begging this man to come back to you, you can stand up. Stand up like you have a spine and like you got a backbone. Look yourself in the mirror in the eye and say, come on, girl, let's get this shit going. We got stuff to do. And one thing we cannot do is waste our time, our valuable little lifespan, chasing after somebody who does not want us. Okay? And once you accept that, you can go on and you can do great things. You can find the love that you want. You can have, your kids will be happier. Your peace of mind will be greater. Your blood pressure will drop. Your skin will clear up. You lose weight. All kind of magical stuff will happen. But it starts with you. And it starts with the acknowledgement that no one is responsible for your man leaving you, cheating on you, dipping out on you, making babies with nobody else. Nothing. Nobody's responsible for that but him. And once you accept that, stop looking outside to switch the blame off of somebody else and beg him back, then you can make great progress in your life. Those of you who are still stuck on stupid, chasing after some man and hoping that he comes back to you like that, you're wasting your life. You only get so many years, and none of us know. Anywhere between 50 and 100, somewhere in there, you're going to check up out of here unless you die earlier in an accident. Okay, but, old age and disease and stuff that starts taking people, heart disease and all that stuff. You in your 30s now, you could only have another 20 or 30 years to be. What you doing? Wasting it, chasing after someone who doesn't want you. Use your life and do something positive and enriching for yourself and your kids. Stop this. It's just ugh. And I just don't like it. It's the complete opposite of female empowerment. And, we don't advocate stupidness here on this channel. Okay? If you have any questions, just post them down below. I'll try to get to them as soon as I can. And I welcome comments. Bye-bye.